This is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And welcome to part 12 of my complete coloring book collection. It looks like there are going to be 2 more after this one, and then we're finished. So today is going to take us to the beginning of the Zeds. So actually I'm doing them backwards today, so we're starting with the Zeds. There's pretty much hodgepodge of all sorts of different artists in here. So let's start off with the Zen Coloring Magazine. I love this magazine. It is British, but unfortunately it costs $18.99 Canadian dollars to purchase. So not too often I pick one up, or I don't really ever pick them up except for this one time. So this is patterns. That's pretty much all you get in this magazine is patterns, or you can get a, let's see, I've passed a couple of them already. No, I guess that's pattern. Or sometimes you get an animal that's like zendoodly, but basically those are like mandalas on animals, so you know what I mean. This has gold gilding on the front cover. And then my sister picked this one up for me from a garage sale or thrift store or something, but this is the Ultimate Collection, Inspirations 100 Designs. So I imagine this is, I don't know if it has any kind of publishing information on it. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, it doesn't say so, but I'm going to imagine that this is a compilation from previous books during the year. It would make sense, unless this is a special issue they put out every year. So this has got the gold gilding again. And so this is 100 patterns, and I've done one in here, very first one. Pretty garish. I just wanted to use a color other than black as the background, so smart me chooses red. So this was done in 2018, which may be the oldest thing I have that I colored, that I still have. Then I've got me a little bit of a collection of May You, though I have not colored anything by her, so I stopped buying her books until I actually colored something. And I haven't. First of all, I have to apologize if you hear some little bit of scuffy type of noises. I have sinus issues today and trying really hard to not let that show so you don't hear it. So this one is True Romance. I didn't even say the title of the last one was Super Cute Animals. Some of them are more anime and others are more cute. This one's Anime Manga Girls. Curvy Beauties. Oh, I did one in here. I didn't even know that. Good thing I'm looking through them. And that has gold gel pen, which you can't really see. This one is Gothic Cuties. And finally, Garden Dreams. Now, I think there's two copies in here. There was of all the others. Oh. And this is her first book, her first ever coloring book. I'll have to check that out and see if it has double copies. Shimmy Girls coloring book by Young Dreamers Press. So this has a few double-sided pictures. They might have just been the last two. Yeah. So it's got a couple of double-sided like that. So then you get the back-to-back whites and this one. That's all. I don't think I've done anything in here. No. As we come further to the end, we come to books that I haven't worked in, because I did do a couple of years of working in every book that I hadn't worked in, and I made my way to the M's. So this is Animals by Georgie Woolridge, and I have worked in here. Whoops. This was going to, so these are 2019 as well. I was going to do this whole book in gel pen, but I think I did a couple and then I gave up. So I'm sure we'll be able to see the I like that one. I just don't like doing pictures in gel pen and get my hand filthy, and I always forget to put a piece of paper down. I've done more than I thought I had in here. And then I have her other two books, but I haven't worked in these. This one is, oh, I should have shown you that. It had kind of like copper gilding on the front there. This one has blue birds. So this one's just birds. Oh, I have done one. Again, gel pen for these books. Water Life, and this has kind of got like turquoise gilding on it. Next time, if I do a color in every book project, I will start at the end. So the next one is Little House Coloring Book with the original illustrations by Garth Williams from all 9 books. That's actually not true, because Little House in the Big Woods was first illustrated by Helen Sewell in silhouettes. But otherwise we have Garth Williams. I used to collect Garth Williams illustrated books, but I got rid of most of them long time ago. Here is Dreamweaver. This has gilt on the front cover. This is one of my great finds. I haven't colored in this yet because it's relatively new to me, but that's a book that I waited and waited and waited to get a copy of. It's all about this woman on a dream. I only have a couple of Misfits books, including two Halloween ones, I think, but they're with my Halloween books. So I think the Halloween ones are the ones I've worked in. Well, this book should be going with my tiny books. I haven't worked in here. Almost did once, but for some reason I didn't. So keep that one out. Then this is a Christian book that I took a chance on, and I really like it. It has red gilding on the front, and it's illustrated by Cindy Wild and Pimlada Fuapredit. So it's a bit zendoodly, but not everything. I think you can tell the difference from the pictures. The thin line art will be one person, and this thick zendoodly art will be the other. So yeah, nice book about animals and flowers. This was my first John Wick book. I now have two. This is GeoPattern, the coloring book of geometric patterns, and this was self-published. It's not Creative Haven. I actually thought it was going to be a Dover book when I bought it, but it's not. It's actually it's not. Oh yeah, it is self-published. Amazon print, I should say. Well, same diff. So this is Winter Wonderland, and it has blue gilting on the cover. This is by Flora Waycott. This is a beautiful book. I wish she had more. And then Nathaniel Wake. I have another book by him. Why is it not here? Strange. I have his sampler. This is Mythological Life anyways. Really nice illustrations. I was getting into his work at one point in time, but I only ended up with his sampler in this, and I don't know where his sampler is. Looks like there's doubles of these. I'll have to take a look at that. Then we have I Love Catacorns and Other Magical Mashups, and this is by Sarah Wade. She does some of the illustrations for the I Heart books. You'll recognize the style, I'm sure. So these are single-sided. It has a title for this page. Or, I mean, I guess it's just a little sentence. You can cover that up unless you want to use it as a storybook. Then I have all of voodoo books at the moment, except I should probably go check and see if they have another one. So this is Voodooed Vixens, and I just love this art. Well, I haven't colored any of their pictures yet. This is Creature Feature. This is Doodles, Volume 1. And this was done from their Inktober of 1 year. I wonder what year that was. 2020, so they should come out with a 2021 edition. And this was their latest book that I looked up, was Hartistic. So these all involve hearts. This would be a good one to do for Valentine's, but it's getting towards the end of February as I film this now. Don't really have time. American Road Trip by Michelle and Brian Sharkey Vaught. This is part of the Color Your Way to Calm series. I think these pictures would look nice if they're done kind of like Lizzie Marie Cullen's style, doing them all wild colors rather than natural colors, because they are a little wild. Got a couple of Heather Valentin books, Sunshine Tots, Enchanted Hats and Shoeses. Sunshine Tots, Enchanted Hats and Shoes. These have pretty thin lines. I haven't started work on this. And Jewels of the Orient. I've done a few in here. Oh, I think I've done 2, so I'm only going to look for 2. Okay, so I did this one, which was Lotus Takeshi. And this one, which is Snowdrop Kakeshi. And I should put these 2 at the front because that's what I do now. Put them right after the title page when I've done pictures in these so I can find which ones I've done. And then I have a couple of her books. This is the Early Years Greatest Hits. These are her big-eyed illustrations. And then I have Tombstone Darlings that I got one Halloween. So there's a page that tells you what their name is, and then there's the illustration. There's a lot of cut and paste in this one, though. Like, one character is repeated, and it's just the same image that's been cut, like here. See, there's the mummy in a graveyard. And then here we're introduced to her. Oh, where's the picture? I just saw it. Okay, well, there's this one that's done twice. Okay, there we go. See how he's standing on this pumpkin? No. Got his leg lifted, so I can't. There are, even though I can't find them right now. And now I have a whole bunch of Usborne patterns. They're called Chinese patterns to color, or blank patterns to color. So this is Chinese. I'll just show you the ends of these books. I haven't worked in them yet, so it's got patterns like that. A lot of them have gilding on the front. This is medieval patterns to color. They all set up the same sort of way. I'm not really going to show you pictures. These are all, they're all flips to all of these on my channel. So red gilding for Victorian patterns to color. Alright, now I'm not going to show you the insides of them. So we have folk art patterns to color. And that one has red gilding. I mean. Oh, I keep calling it gilding. It's gilding. Celtic patterns. Mexican patterns has gold on it. African patterns. Japanese patterns is gold. Egyptian patterns is blue. Roman patterns, and finally I have a bind up of 2 different books, silver gilding. This has arts and crafts and deco art, and no, art deco, arts and crafts, and nouveau, art nouveau, all in the same book. So that's this shelf. So hang on a second while I go get the next shelf. Okay, so as I was getting these off of the shelf, I realized that there's only going to be one more after this. So this is my second last. So we're going to have lucky number 13, but oh well, that's how it goes. So this is the second part of part 12. So this shelf is mostly zendoodles. So we have the regular zendoodle coloring system. Where am I coming up with that? Series. The regular zendoodle coloring series comes first. So I have Jeanette Wimmel, I have a few of hers. I don't buy her books anymore because I've got enough. I'm not going to show you in these unless I've colored in them, and to tell you the truth, I do not think I've colored in any of them. I don't know why. I collected them at some point, and I just am not ready to get rid of them at this point. So we have Baby Animal Safari. Let's pick up a few at a time. This is all of them. So we have Cuddle Bugs. This is my favorite one. I like coloring bugs. Baby Animals on Parade. Baby Forest Animals. Baby Farm Animals. Baby Animals. And from what I've seen of her new books, I think she's done with the baby animals trope and does different types of things now. So now I have one book by Julia Snegariva, and that's Inspiring Zendalas. So they're basically just mandalas. Don't know if I should move that to my mandala section. Then we're doing Deborah Muller. So first of all, I've got one of her books from the Colorful Blessings series, which is published by Zendoodle as well. So this is Psalms of Peace and Hope, and it's just, it's got her beautiful illustrations and some, I mean, I'm not big on quotes, but it's got her beautiful illustrations. Okay, so now comes the big stack of Mullers. Start with some. So I have all of her, I think I have all of her Zendoodle books now, except for her latest one, which is Outrageous Otters. So I have Sleepy Sloths, Kitties in Cities, Cuddly Koalas, Under the Sea, Funky Monkeys, Wise Owls, Magical Mermaid Kitties. Oh, I know, there's one I don't have, and that's the fairies. So this comes with some pencils, unfortunately. That's the only way I could get it. But it comes out neatly, so. Lovable Llamas, Rainbow Unicorns, Chubby Cherubs, and now for the big picture ones, these have large print illustrations. We have Magnificent Animals, and that's the end of the Deborah Muller books. Then I have another big picture book. This one is by Tish Miller, and it's Calming Gardens, and it's just flowers. Okay, and now the rest of them. Got a few of Nicolette Corley, Calming Swirls, Enchanting Gardens, Tranquil Gardens, and I think pretty much most of these have a flip through on my channel. If you can't find it, just let me know and I'll see if I can find it or put one up for you. Okay, so now on to Antonia Cardella. We have Fantastic Creatures. And finally, Jody Best, we have Celestial Wonders. So that's it for the Zendoodle books. So we've got a few more Zeds from Zine Scope. I have 2 of the Grimm Fairy Tales coloring books. Now, just in case you didn't know, because I know a lot of people have these are based on a comic book series, and the comic book series is very sexy and very violent. So basically it's gore and sex is what the coloring books are like. And here we have some of the artist's work. I don't know if this is taken from the books. Probably is, because there's like hundreds of books by them. So this is their very first one that came out, and then this one is called Different Seasons, and this is from a set of books that they put out under the Different Seasons tag. So all the Grimm fairy tales have a subworld where it branches out into all sorts of different, there's an Alice in Wonderland series, there's a Robin Hood series, and so on. Then Zen Zoo Creative, I have Mermaids and Mermen. I'm not showing you anything in these because I haven't colored anything in them. Fairies and Flowers, and Mini Monsters. And then now, the last 2 books, I have Enchanted Worlds by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. And this is part of the same series as the Lydia Hess books are. Art is very similar too, but definitely not the same. And finally, this is a coloring book of Zio Ziegler's work, and it includes 6 postcards. So here's the postcards, and I don't know if I'll ever color in this. They would make absolutely fantastic pictures to color, but the art is just so gorgeous. But you know, this time looking through the book, it makes me actually want to color. Before, I think I just felt, maybe I felt, what is this? This has got to be a pull-out. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Don't feel like coloring that. That would just take a long time. So, yeah, these don't intimidate me at all, except for maybe the pull-out. So yeah, it's got a few of the pull-outs in it. Really interesting art. And that's it, guys. That's the end of number 12. So thanks so much for joining me and allowing me to share my collection with you. And we've got one more coming up, and that's all my Christmas and Halloween books. So I will see you there. Bye.